This stupid simple scalping strategy consistently gives me days like this, and I'm about to show you exactly how. It is so stupid simple that even a complete beginner could not mess this up, and the best part is it works every single day. And in this video, I'm gonna show you the full strategy and do a 1-month backtest to prove that this can instantly make you a profitable trader today. So you see my results, but the real question is, how can you do it too? And that's the exact goal of this video. For you to be able to walk away from it and be able to make consistent profits as a trader using a proven and simple strategy with less than 90 minutes of work per day. You're gonna learn one stupid simple strategy to find entry, set your take profit, and set your stop loss. That way, there's no more guessing in your trading, no more hoping or being confused, just clarity and consistent execution. And after I teach you the strategy, we're gonna put it to the test over the last month to see just how much money you would have made if you had traded this strategy consistently. All right, so let's go ahead and break down the strategy. Now, the first step is just to get to your desk right at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then once you're at your desk, there are 3 extremely simple steps in order to find consistent trades. Step number 1 is we're going to draw the high and the low of the first 5-minute candle. Now, this is the candle that starts at 9:30 and ends at 9:35 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. To draw the high and the low, we're going to go over here to the left on TradingView. You're going to select the trend line tool, and you're going to draw out the high, and then you're going to draw out the low. This works for stocks, futures, options, Forex, or crypto, and you always use the same time. So after that first 5-minute candle closes, step 2 is we're going to go to the 1-minute chart and wait for a break. So you would go up here on TradingView and click the 1 minute, and this brings you to a view where each candle represents 1 minute rather than each candle representing 5 minutes. So the next step is we want to wait for our break. Now, whenever we're looking for a break, we want to make sure it's not just a wick. This is very, very important. Because when you wait for an energetic push, this tells you instantly who is actually in control of the market, whether that's buyers or sellers. And that brings us to step 3, which is to watch for our displacement trade entry. And this confirms our entry and helps us place our stop loss and take profit. Now, there is a very specific behavior that we're looking for, and I'm going to walk you through exactly what it looks like in this back test, and we're going to go over a ton of examples. Also, guys, I built a totally 100% free community for traders who want to simplify their trading and find consistency. Inside, there is a free trading course. I post up-to-date market outlooks and a ton of other valuable resources and PDFs and ebooks. I'll go ahead and leave a link in the description for you to join totally free. So this brings us to our displacement entry method. Let me ask you, if you had a proven strategy, are you the type of person that would be able to stay consistent with it? Now, I hope the answer is yes, because this is the single most important skill that any profitable trader has. And with a strategy that is as simple and repeatable as what I'm teaching you right now, you have everything you need in order to finally become a consistent trader. So what is displacement? Well, displacement is just an energetic move in the market that shows us that the larger market participants or the big dogs in the market are in control. Now, the way that we're going to view a displacement is by a fair value gap. All a fair value gap is whenever we have a very energetic candle and you see how there is a gap between the candle before its wick. There's not a big wick on this candle, but there's a gap right there to this wick. This shows that the market expanded rapidly. And in order for the market to do that, there had to be some very large forces at play, especially if we're doing it through the first 5-minute high, because the most amount of volume in the entire day occurs in that first 5 minutes. So as soon as the first 5-minute high is broken and we have a fair value gap created from it, we are good to enter the trade. So you're going to go over here and click the long position tool because this would be a buy since we broke the high. At this time, as soon as that third candle closes, which confirms the fair value gap, you are good to enter the trade. And then you want to put your stop loss at the base of the candle that broke through the high and closed its body above it. For the target, we are just going to go to a fixed 2-to-1 risk to reward. What this means is that if the trade hits our target, we would make 2 times the amount of dollars in profit that we would lose in the case that the trade goes against us. So you would be able to enter the trade right here, put your stop loss where it goes, and then you would put your take profit right at that fixed 2-to-1. And then you can sit back with confidence knowing that the trade is likely to go into your favor. And that's exactly what happened on this day. And you can see right here, you would have made $1,520 in about 11 minutes. Not a bad work day if you ask me. And if you didn't notice, one of the profit slips that I showed you earlier was from this exact day, May 19th. And you can see that I made $11,000 on this trading day. Now it's time to put this to the test with real examples over the last month so you can walk away from this video with total clarity and confidence, and you can see just how much money this strategy made in the last month alone. So step number one, we go to the first 5-minute candle at 9:30 a.m. and mark the high and low. Now, step number two, we want to patiently wait on the 1-minute chart until we get a fair value gap. And as you can see right here, a fair value gap was created outside of the range. This is the most important part of this strategy. And if you just trade every time we get a little wick above, this strategy isn't going to work for you because we need that force to tell us who is really in control. So at this time, you could then enter the market, you would put your stop loss under the displacement candle, and you would just target that fixed 2-to-1 risk to reward. And again, sit back and let the market do the heavy lifting for you. Now, sometimes the market can take a little while to go to the entry, but even on days like this, I mean, it's really not that bad. This was in 18 minutes. So now the profit is up to $2,485 just trading one single NASDAQ contract, and that was in less than 1 hour of work. We're at about 29 minutes of total trading at this time. And again, we go to the next trading day, 9:30 a.m. candle, and you just mark the high and low. Yes, it is literally that stupid simple. Then we go down to our 1-minute time frame, and we are going to patiently wait and not do anything until the market hits into our level. Now, if you notice right here, we did not create a fair value gap. So in this example, you would want to wait to see if we retest the range, and if we do, what happens? Do we create a fair value gap away from it? And the answer is yes. So this gives you more entries while maintaining the same goal, which is knowing who's in control. So again, if we break out of the range and don't create a fair value gap, once the market hits back into the range, if a fair value gap is created off of the range, this shows us that the market is going to likely continue. And at that time, you could enter a trade. Now, this is a short or a sell. So you would enter a trade right here, and you would put your stop loss above the original candle that broke through the range and closed through it. So not the candle that created the fair value gap, but the one that closed through the range. This is really important. Now, in this example, it's not much difference, but some examples it will be. So make sure that you do that correctly. Then, just like the other trades, we're going to go for a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio. So on this trade, we'd be risking about $600 to make $1,300. And then you would just let the trade do the heavy lifting for you. Now, as you can see in this example, this is where a lot of you guys will make mistakes that keep you unprofitable. You'll get scared and think that just because the trade didn't go straight to your target, that you should exit the trade. But it's very, very important that you stay consistent, guys. Understand that no matter what, you could have the best strategy in the world, and if you don't stay consistent with it and trust it, it doesn't matter because you'll end up hesitating or overtrading or exiting trades early. But as you can see, the trade played out, and this is why you have to trust your system. This trade took about 23 minutes, and we added another $1,400 of profit. So this is $3,800 in less than a full hour of trading over 3 trading days. And not to mention, this was done with one NASDAQ contract, which can be traded on a 50K prop firm account. And depending on what firm you're trading with, this costs $50 or less. Now, I get asked a lot which prop firm to go with, so I left a link in the description that goes to Apex, which is the biggest firm, and it gets you up to 80% off of your prop firm account. So I'll leave that down in the description in case you guys want to use this strategy for prop firms. And to be clear, you only need to make $3,000 on that 50K account to pass the challenge. So just in these 3 days alone, you would have already passed the challenge. So here we are on the next trading day. Again, you just mark out the high and the low of the first 5-minute candle. And then we go to our 1-minute chart and patiently wait for a break of one of these levels. As you can see in this example, we broke through it almost immediately and we created a fair value gap. So we would enter the trade and put our stop loss above the candle that broke through the level and target a fixed 2-to-1 risk to reward. On this trade, we'd be risking $665 to make $1,320. So you just want to patiently wait. Sometimes the market will take a second to do its thing, but you have to sit back and let the market do the work for you. Now, in this example, you see that we made $1,300 in about 1,500 minutes. Not bad if you ask me. And this brings our total profit up to $5,145 over a total of 4 trading days and right around an hour worth of work. So again, we mark out the high and the low of the first 5-minute candle. Now, I know this is boring and repetitive, but honestly, guys, that is what makes profitable trading. And my goal is to make as many profitable traders as possible. So I know this may not be the most fancy, advanced strategy, but in my experience, stupid simple always wins. So then we patiently wait until the level is hit. And as you can see, the market hits this level and we create a fair value gap. Now, this is a smaller fair value gap, and it's important you don't hesitate on these trades. You have to stay mechanical because the candle did close above the level and a fair value gap was created. So this time we would enter the trade with our stop loss under that candle that closed outside of the range. This puts us at about a risk of $275 with a 2-to-1 target, which makes us $540 if we win. So this trade hits the target in literally less than 5 minutes. It only took 3 minutes for this to hit the target. And while it was only $540, that in 3 minutes isn't too bad to me. As you can see, over the last few weeks, you would have generated $5,600 in profit trading just one NASDAQ contract. You now have a stupid, simple, and proven strategy, which means you have everything you need in order to become a consistent trader. Now, if you're like me, whenever I first started trading, I could watch a video, and then when I went out and tried to apply it in the live market, it would be a lot more difficult than I thought. So if you want to trade with me at Market Open, have every single trade that you take reviewed, and be directly mentored by me, have full access to ask me whatever you want, I'll leave a link down in the description so you can apply to work with me directly. Now, since it is an intensive program, not everyone will qualify, but if you do, I guarantee you will become a funded trader in 12 weeks, or I will personally trade with you until you get funded. Make sure to subscribe to the channel because next week I'm going to be releasing a video that dives even deeper into this strategy, going over some secret tricks that are going to help you increase your win rate and avoid bad trades. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.